afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4, another very busy news day. Here's what's making news on this Wednesday. Protests continue to sweep the nation as new charges are announced against the former police officers involved in the arrest of George Floyd.
At the same time, the Monona Police Department is under scrutiny for responding with guns drawn to a false report that a black man was breaking into a home.
And a night of storms brought damage to parts of the area. We'll show you how communities are cleaning up. But first, as protests continue to sweep the nation, new charges are announced against the former police officers involved in the arrest of George Floyd.
Skylar Henry has the latest from Minneapolis.
The crowd let out a cheer, hearing that former police officer Derek Chauvin is now facing second-degree murder charges in the death of George Floyd. The three other officers involved in Floyd's arrest are also now charged. The news came just hours after Floyd's son arrived at the spot where his 46-year-old father died and knelt in prayer.
I appreciate everyone for showing him some support and love. I thank y'all for that.
Former NBA player Royce White has emerged as one of the city's protest leaders.
There's going to be a day where George Floyd's children decide to watch the video of that cop kneeling on his neck. And if you can imagine that moment, then there's no way that you shouldn't take to the streets.
In Seattle, peaceful protests took a turn last night when demonstrators clashed with police. But in California, most recent demonstrations were mostly peaceful.
Black Lives Matter!
In New York, protesters defied the 8 p.m. curfew, but the mayor says the city did not see the widespread looting and vandalism from previous nights.
Overwhelmingly, it was a very different reality in New York City last night.
The Minneapolis Police Department is now under investigation for discriminatory practices, but activists say that does not give them solace.
Why is that? None whatsoever. I don't trust the state. I don't trust people to investigate themselves.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz visited Floyd's memorial Wednesday morning using chalk to write "Justice Now." Skylar Henry, CBS News, Minneapolis.
George Floyd will be buried next week in his hometown of Houston, Texas. Boxing great Floyd Mayweather has reportedly offered to cover the funeral expenses. There have been many efforts made to help restore the peace here in Madison.
At a press conference today, the Boys and Girls Club CEO Michael Johnson was joined by law enforcement and other community leaders to talk about why unity is the best approach going forward. Jamie Perez was there, and she's here now with more. Jamie?
Yeah, well, they really emphasize that we cannot solve every problem, but we can all be part of the solution. And many of the black speakers there said that they do not support the violence, rioting, and looting that's been going on, but they do fully support peaceful protests and getting their message across. And we heard from the mayor, who said she is working to end the systematic racism, Gloria Reyes, who is helping train 75 peacekeepers that were hired to maintain good intent at future demonstrations. And we heard from Tony Robinson's aunt, who said coming together is the only solution to a problem that we are all trying to fight together.
Seeing all of you faces here lets me know that we have teammates on the other side, and there shouldn't be a side. If peace didn't work and violence doesn't work, then unity is the only thing that's going to work.
At the end of that gathering today, law enforcement and community leaders all knelt down together and prayed in solidarity and in memory of George Floyd. Now, coming up tonight at 5, we will hear reaction from Madison Police Chief Vic Wall about what struck him the most today and what he learned just by being there and listening to those speakers.
Jamie, thank you. Heightened security and peaceful demonstrators marked the scene in the nation's capital as protests continue. Militarized police and the National Guard have poured into Washington over the past few days, and active duty troops are also on standby. President Trump defended his law and order posture in an interview with Fox News Radio.
Maybe it doesn't sound good to say it, but you have to have a dominant force. We need law and order.
CBS News has confirmed that President Trump and top aides were not happy with new comments from Defense Secretary Mark Esper. He said he would not support using the Insurrection Act to use active duty troops to quell the unrest. The Defense Secretary also took the unusual step of weighing in on the killing of George Floyd and racial injustice. Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley introduced a resolution in the House to denounce police brutality, racial profiling, and excessive force.
Well, after a stormy night, another humid day out there. Here's the fish in the backyard. Summer with less humidity are the weather words. Dana is in the backyard with the fish.
I am.
And it's a little sticky out.
It's a little sticky. The fish seem fine, though. They're good. The problem is the pond's too small. I can't get in there with the fish, but it looks pretty comfortable because it is pretty warm outside right now. Here's a live look with our Edgewater sky cam. We had a lot of cloud coverage holding on early this morning with a few isolated showers. Of course, those showers cleared out early in the day. Now our temperatures are in the mid-80s again with a breeze coming from the west-southwest, so not quite as windy as what we had yesterday. Of course, those storms coming through. A quick look at our storm reports from last night. You can see the main line really stretching from La Crosse towards Fond du Lac, but we did have several very strong wind reports in Spring Green, reports of power lines down, and around the Portage area, several reports of damage to trees and barns, and even a fifth wheel getting flipped over right around 8 o'clock. So that wind pushing through with that squall line, and then things calming down overnight. Tomorrow we're expecting a very similar day to today, in the mid-80s again with a mostly sunny sky. And we may see a few storms popping up later in the evening. The good news, we are looking at the chance for any severe weather to pop up later on in the day. I do want to take a quick look at traffic, though. Right now, thankfully, the roads seem fairly clear to get from Janesville to the Beltline. 26 minutes, a very quick drive from Sauk City to Middleton at 16, and Sun Prairie to downtown about 9 minutes on this very sunny evening.
All right, Dana, thank you. People in Portage are still recovering from last night's storms that blew through Columbia County and other areas of the state. Many Portage residents are still without electricity this afternoon after the severe weather knocked out several power lines near Highway 51. Bill O'Donnell says he took the day off to clean up some of the damage left behind from the storm.
I've been out here all day. I've had shingles everywhere. My yard, total, and neighbors across the alley.
In addition to the power outages, Columbia County deputies also reported several incidents of damaged homes and trees blocking roadways. Police in Monona are investigating a complaint that says officers entered a home with guns drawn and put a black man in handcuffs before confirming that he lives there.
Our Amy Reed joins us live from Monona to explain what this looked like to a neighbor who stepped in to intervene. Amy?
The police department says that they've apologized many times for what happened in a neighborhood just a couple blocks from City Hall here. According to a release from the city and the police department, someone in the neighborhood called police about someone at a formerly vacant house they didn't think was supposed to be there. When they got to the house, they said the door was unsecured and they heard voices inside. They said they thought it was a burglary, so when no one responded to them, they entered with guns drawn and put a 23-year-old black man in handcuffs. The situation was cleared up within about a half hour, according to the neighbor across the street who saw it happen. She said she thinks race played a factor, at least for the person who called police.
Had she seen, you know, a black man in flip-flops and on his phone and, you know, just sitting there in the sun, I don't, and if, you know, he'd been white, I don't believe it would have happened.
Carol said she tried to let police know the man had moved in recently and he was allowed to be there. She said she hopes her new neighbor knows that the neighborhood is not like this. The mayor of Monona said she, a couple alders, and the chief of police are meeting this afternoon to go over this incident and talk about what should happen moving forward, and we expect an update from her as soon as that meeting has wrapped up.
Amy Reed reporting live in Monona. Thank you, Amy. George Floyd's killing is the latest in a series of incidents highlighting tensions between the black community and police. CBS News spent a year looking into policing in America and surveyed more than 150 police departments across the country. In March, Breonna Taylor was shot and killed by Louisville police inside her home during an alleged botched drug raid. Michael Brown died at the hands of police in 2014. Eric Gardner died the same year, making the same plea as Floyd. Matt Johnson is the former president of the Los Angeles Police Commission.
You saw it in the incident that happened in Central Park with Amy Cooper. When she called police and said, I am being threatened by a black man, she knew exactly what she was doing. These are historical problems that go back to slavery. If we think that we do a week of de-escalation training or a week of anti-bias training and we're going to solve all the problems, we're totally fooling ourselves.
During CBS News' year-long investigation, reporter Jeff Pegues visited departments across the country to see their training practices. At least 69% of departments say they have racial bias training, including the Minneapolis Police Department. They said that they've been teaching bias training since 2015 and de-escalation training since before 2005.
Shifting now to the other big story today, the coronavirus headlines. More than 19,000 people have tested positive for the virus since the beginning of the pandemic, and 616 have died. The number of positive tests within the last 24 hours in Wisconsin has dipped below 3%. And a little later this hour on Live at 4, we'll be taking your coronavirus-related questions for Dr. Zorba Pastor. So we'll let you know when it's time to call in.
More parts of the country are cautiously opening up today as the number of coronavirus cases are on the rise in about half of the states. Over 106,000 people have now died from the virus. In downtown Chicago, salons, hotels, and outdoor restaurants now have a green light to welcome back customers. Florida has been working to reopen its economy, even as the Sunshine State posted its biggest daily gain of cases in 6 weeks. Dr. Anthony Fauci expects the U.S. will have a couple 100 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine by early next year, but he warns that vaccine will likely be limited in how long it can protect people.
When you look at the history of coronaviruses, the reports in the literature are that the durability of immunity that's protective ranges from 3 to 6 months to almost always less than a year. That's not a lot of durability of protection.
Health experts are also concerned about the effects of tear gas that law enforcement authorities are using to disperse protest crowds. Tear gas can incite coughing, and the CDC warns it can cause breathing problems such as asthma.
Well, still to come today at 4, business owners on State Street are devastated after 3 nights of vandalism and looting.
We'll find out how they're coping and what the future of State Street might look like. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of triathlon and time trial bicycles from Giant, Liv, Felt, and Trek. Whether you're signed up for your very first sprint triathlon or you're looking to take home the Ironman Wisconsin title, we've got the bicycle in service for you. Machinery Row Bicycles offers you expertise in accessories, clothing, nutrition, rentals, and fitting services. Machinery Row Bicycles is within sight of the Ironman starting line and right on the bicycle path. So transition into the most beautiful bicycle store in the world, Machinery Row Bicycles.
While there's no instruction manual for what we're all going through now, there is Christian and Natalie and all our other associates at Pick and Save, working with one of the country's biggest supply chains for the Kroger family of brands, keeping our promise that our shelves will be continually stocked and that you'll always have access to the things you need. Because together, we've got you covered. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Hi, this is John Walsh. How do you get help if you can't leave your house and your family can't be with you? With a Jitterbug cell phone, one touch connects you to highly trained 5-star agents. They'll send you the help you need or get a doctor or nurse on the line. Call as often as you like, day or night. And with the Link app, family members will get an alert right on their smartphones that you've contacted 5-star.
Now more affordable with 25% off at Best Buy, Amazon, and GreatCall.com. Also at Rite Aid.
Yeah, we did it. Made a couple mistakes, yeah, we'll admit it. But we learned a lot and we pushed it to the limit. Wouldn't have it any other way, no different. We're coming out stronger. We got love.
Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements, call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Welcome back. Another food plant now has an outbreak of COVID-19.
This time at a Tyson Foods plant in Iowa, 591 employees at the Storm Lake pork facility have tested positive for COVID-19. 3/4 of the employees did not show any symptoms of the virus before testing. Tyson says employees with the virus will receive paid leave until they're no longer contagious. The facility has more than 2,300 employees. It's undergone a deep cleaning and expected to resume limited production today. Tyson says they'll also disclose test results for its other plants to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. On Wall Street, investors set their sights on more major cities' plans to reopen despite ongoing protests. The Dow Industrials gained 527 points, closing at 26,269. The Nasdaq added 74, and the S&P 500 was up 42, closing at its highest level since March 4th. Well, after several nights of property damage and looting, businesses on and around State Street are hurting.
Tiffany Kenny is the executive director of Madison's Central Business Improvement District, and she joins us now with what's next for businesses. Tiffany, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Tiff.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Hi, Mark. Hi, Susan.
Well, before we talk
about
you
virtually.
Yeah, it is nice to see you. We're looking forward to seeing you in person. Before we talk about what's next for businesses, talk to us a little bit about how you're feeling and your reaction to what's transpired on State Street the last 72 hours.
Sure. You know, we all are thinking a lot about what's going on downtown, and it's challenging. It's challenging for our community. It's challenging for our citizens, and it's really challenging right now in this moment for our small business owners, many of whom this is their lives, their livelihoods being damaged and destroyed.
It's got to be heartbreaking to see these pictures. We're watching the looting now, and just what is the result of all of this?
It is, and especially, you know, we have businesses that have been down there for what's great about downtown actually is the variety of time they've been down there. We have some businesses who've just been there for 2 years, somebody who maybe just opened even this year, and then we have some great longtime businesses, people who you saw early on being damaged and looted, like Goodman's Jewelers or Fontana. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, and then I also want to comment out about a place like August or the Triangle Market. August is a cool shoe shop. The guy's been in business for 2 years. We're really proud he's been on State Street. And the Triangle Market recently transferred ownership to a young couple who saved up for their dream, for their future, and they bought the Triangle Market. And it was recently, you know, it caught on fire during all of this. So,
we're seeing,
you know, we're trying to put it back together.
We're seeing video right now of people turning the boarded up businesses into art, which has been very inspiring to see the downtown business district come together that way.
Well, absolutely. And that actually is a partnership with the city of Madison and the artists in this community. They reached out and they wanted to put something together. The artists did. And so, you know, Susan, Mark, you and I have got a chance to know each other for a long time. And you probably know, I think one of the best parts about Madison is our artistic and creative community. Mm-hmm. We've been privileged to put together projects like the Madison Night Market or anything else. Like we're hosting, you know, the Art Fair on the Square is in downtown Madison, the best of the artists. So in this way, we had artists from all communities reach out and they wanted to participate. And Karin Wolf, who's the city arts administrator, did a fantastic job talking with the community and finding artists to really represent all parts of our community. We have Latina artists, we have Black artists, we have white artists. We've got the rainbow of artists making a rainbow of messages downtown. And so, while, you know, it's a really, really hard time, we're trying to bring a little bit of joy while we figure out what we do next.
And what do you do next? What's the future of State Street look like?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. You know, I hope it's not as bleak as I hear, because what's really challenging for these businesses is they're responding in the moment about their material items, and they also are responding about the changes in this world and how sad they are about what has happened to George Floyd. And I think, you know, what they wanted to do is tell people that story, and they have to sit back right now and wait to see what happens next. They want people to know that they're just as sad and just as outraged at the loss of life. And so they're trying to, like I said, tell that story through art. They're going to wait. We don't have a great plan right now, but we do have a lot of people who are stepping up to help us, and that's something I'd love to chat with you about. Today, John McKenzie, who is just a local great guy. He supports the Boys and Girls Clubs regularly, but he came forward through that relationship that we have to say, I'm going to work with my contractor friends. I'm going to donate the people that I work with, and we're going to help put it back together when it's time. So not only do we have that happening, but I'm sure your viewers, or you've already talked about the great efforts that Michael Johnson, Scott Resnick, the Boys and Girls Club, and 365 have put together. They are raising funds for our downtown, and they sprung to action both in helping with people immediately after the very first day, but they've also put this call out for some funding to help us. And while we know the damage is actually going to be in the millions for the downtown, we appreciate the money that has been raised so far, and we hope that it will help some of our smallest businesses know that the community is there for them.
Mm-hmm. People helping people. We'll get through this together. Tiffany, thanks for being with us today. Best of luck to you.
Tiff, great to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate you telling the stories.
All right, still to come at 4, we head to the other side of the Capitol Square to check out one of Madison's newest restaurants.
When we come back, we're headed to the kitchen, into the kitchen with Madison Magazine's Andrea Bailing. She checks out Divino. Now, this was pre-COVID-19. That's coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
It's time to celebrate the wonderful farm families all across the state of Wisconsin. And today, our travels bring us to Fox Lake, and Katie Schultz is here at Trifecta Farms. Now, tell us a little bit about this great farm, Katie.
So we are situated just north of the lake. You can literally see the lake out in front of us. We are blessed to have incredible neighbors that welcome our farm into their community. We've been here farming in this location since the early 90s. And so my parents were able to purchase this farm and build the current facilities that we have. In the early 2000s, my brother and my sister and I took it upon ourselves to dive into the adventure ourselves. And so we were able to buy the farm from our parents and continue the tradition and heritage of dairy farming here in Fox Lake.
Katie, how are you guys here at Trifecta Farms making sure that you preserve the animals, the land, the water, everything that is your farm?
Yeah, I think for us, our sibling team, we're passionate about improving what we were already given. So we know that our parents did the best they could with the resources they had, and so we're continuing to learn and to educate and use new technologies to improve our soil health, to improve our crops, to improve our cows. Those things are important to us because it's not that we just want them to be better for us right now. We're looking at our next generation and the generation after that. We want to make sure that we're a sustainable farm, that we can welcome those other generations back here to our home.
Thank you for all you do, not only during the month of June, but every other single month that we don't celebrate you. We thank you.
Thank you.
From Trifecta Farms in Fox Lake, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
These are extraordinary times, and we want to thank the extraordinary people in the healthcare community working to care for all of us. At Novartis, we promise to do our part. As always, we're doing everything we can to help keep Cosentyx accessible and affordable. If you have any questions at all, call us, email us, visit us online. We're here to help support you when you need us. Take care and be well. To learn more, call 1-844-COSENTYX or visit Cosentyx.com.
Well, take a look at this. Jeremy Tronet is showing off his the board off his feet and literally walks on water. Renee says he invented this era illusion almost 20 years ago. He lives in the Caribbean and owns the JT Pro Center where he teaches people to kite surf.
Look at that water.
Guys, that's beautiful.
I know.
Oh,
It doesn't look
that's really cool.
To the water and the sky. And
yeah.
That's good for the soul right about now,
That's just some beach time, some sunshine, a little
Not so
distance in
humid.
nature. Yeah. Unfortunately, that cold front that Mark was calling me out for passed through last night with some storms, but it didn't cool us down too much. It's another warm day, and we're looking for sunny skies and warm weather again tomorrow. We'll look at your full forecast right after the break.
From first-time homeowners to empty nesters, new windows provide a connection to the world around us, and that's where we come in here at Mad City Windows. We can install great windows in your home, the Eco Sky windows. With Sky Mirror technology, we're going to give your home an energy upgrade. Custom-made windows, whatever size you need, bay, bow, double hung, slider, wood grains on the inside. If we don't have the color on the outside, we'll make it for you. And now would be a great time to call during our summer spectacular sale. Get a house full of windows. Listen to this for $29.95. Zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 18 months. A bonus, buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed absolutely free. Ask about our virtual online estimate. Call now, get a $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate. Call us here in the greater Madison area right now at 608-338-1616, 608-338-1616. Call Mad City Windows today about our Do More discount. Get a new bath, tub to shower conversion, or walk-in tub and take advantage of special savings. Don't worry about that old roof any longer. You can count on Mad City Roofing to do the job right the first time. And now's a great time to get those old windows out and install new windows from us here at Mad City Windows. The Eco Sky windows, we're going to give your home an energy upgrade. And you can take advantage of the Summer Spectacular Sale. Get a house full of windows for $29.95. $29.95, zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 18 months. Look at the bonus. You buy 7 or more premium windows and get a patio door installed for free. Ask about our virtual online estimate. Call now, get a $100 Walmart or Amazon gift card with your estimate. Call us here in the greater Madison area right now at 608-338-1616, 608-338-1616.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This afternoon turned out to be okay. Sunny skies, no storms coming in. A little warm outside though, still just a little humid also. So we're going to stay dry for the rest of the evening and overnight. Most of Thursday will stay dry. Our next chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms will pass through Thursday night. And then for the weekend, we're looking for a sunny sky and warm temperatures continuing on. The remnants of our tropical system might creep up into Wisconsin next week. Could look like a pretty big rain event for us for the middle of next week. Right now though, we have high pressure building in, so we're calm in Wisconsin. Our front that passed through, bringing those strong thunderstorms last night and a lot of wind. It is now well to our south and thankfully not expected to bounce back up. So we'll stay mostly clear overnight. Temperatures dropping into the 60s for early Thursday morning. We're still pretty clear outside. In the afternoon, we'll stay mostly sunny. Another afternoon with temperatures in the mid 80s. Heading into Friday, again early in the morning, we might see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms at night, but otherwise Friday should be mostly sunny and warm yet again. Our rainfall potential, again, not really expecting much to pass through for Thursday night and Friday. Most of it is going to stay well north of Dane County. I do want to take a look at Tropical Storm Cristobal right now, down to off the coast of Mexico. Right now it's moving over land, which isn't good. Our hurricanes and tropical systems, they don't thrive over land. That tears the system apart a little bit. But once it lifts back into that warm Gulf water this weekend, it's going to gain a little more steam as it does lift north. So this is a look at late Saturday. As we start to get to the middle of next week, though, this is going to head on north and pass into the Midwest, and that will be the rain that we're dealing with for the middle of next week. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and very warm temperatures yet again in the mid to upper 80s for afternoon highs. Friday, we might see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms early in the day. Otherwise, sunshine in the afternoon with temperatures yet again in the mid 80s. Our weekend will be dry. Saturday and Sunday should be pleasantly warm, close to 80 degrees, with mostly sunny skies on Saturday, partly sunny skies on Sunday, and that rain chance will start to develop late Tuesday and stay through Wednesday. Right now, it does look like a very rain-heavy event, but it's very dependent on the track of that tropical storm, so we'll be keeping a close eye on it through the weekend and into next week as it does lift north.
The weekend looks great. Yeah, it does.
Fantastic outside.
All right, thank you, Dana. Well, one of Madison's newest restaurants, Divino on King Street, was only open a couple of weeks before the months-long shutdown hit the States.
Madison Magazine's Andy Bailing got to visit the Wine and Small Plates bar before the Safer at Home order hit, and she talked to the owners about this unique concept.
We are making octopus carpaccio, which is a three-part process. We start with dipping the octopus in boiling water. 3 times my Nana always did it, and we as little kids thought it was because she told us it was to keep the maloikyu away, which was bad luck. Since that time, I've realized it's actually to curl the tentacles, so it looks prettier when you plane it. So first we dip it in boiling water, and then we cook it in a simmering pot full of vegetables and herbs for about an hour.
Does that give it a lot of flavor?
Flavor and tenderness.
Oh, and tenderness too, okay.
Once we finish with that process, we actually cool it, we clean it, and then we cut it and we put it into a very sophisticated plastic water bottle and press it down, and we leave it overnight in the cooler with about 30 pounds of weight on it, which creates a salami out of the actual octopus.
Yeah, so then what we do is we take it and we slice it really thin, lay it on a piece of paper, and then for service, we serve three pieces of the carpaccio, and then we have a citrus vinaigrette with a little, mostly lemon, orange, and some red wine vinegar, a little oregano. And so the plate just gets a little drizzle because citrus goes so well with octopus. And then it's dressed with a little salad, so we take some arugula with a little more of the dressing. And then we garnish it with some pistachio. Just a little crunch. You always have to have a little texture in your dishes. Just a little sea salt for a little flavor.
So that is our octopus carpaccio, all the way from our friends at Dita Trinchetti in Trastevere, Rome.
Oh. We love the food so much and the culture and their passion for sharing food, and that's what we want to do here is share these ancient recipes with people so that most people have probably never had this, and if they don't travel to Italy, they may never see it.
A couple other dishes out on the table. Can you tell me what we have here?
Sure. So here we have the arancini. So we serve 3 different types. We have a beef ragu, we have a saffron and smoked Gouda, and then we have a mushroom risotto with a mushroom duxelle in the middle.
Oh, yum.
So this is a very traditional dish that my Nana made, and she made them about the size of softballs.
Oh, geez, that's big.
It's big, and they were risotto that was left over from the day before, and then she would stuff it with basically tomato sauce with ground beef and peas in the middle. And so when we were young, we would start the meal with this big rice ball, and you'd break it in half and eat that, and then you'd go on to your pasta course and your meat course and your salads and your vegetable and your seafood and everything else. Yeah. So we've scaled it way back. We make them much smaller. Yeah. Jason brought the mushroom duxelle to the party and also the smoked Gouda. So a couple of updates to the traditional flavors that my Nana made, and we serve it with a marinara sauce. Dip that in there and go from there. Yeah.
Oh, this is delicious.
The idea of the small plates is really the whole concept here, which is cicchetti, which is on the back of our shirts, right? So we can get everybody in town saying cicchetti, which basically is Italian for small plates, for tapas. And the concept is that you have you know, 3 or 4 different ones. You share them, you try them with a glass of wine. How about a cannoli?
That's Dino and Jason. Divino has temporarily closed their dining room. Curbside pickup is available, but it's not serving those small plates. They're doing more hearty Italian food. More information on their website and Facebook page, and I can't wait to check out Divino because
looks delicious.
Closed right away.
Yeah. Well, there's more to come at 4. When we come back, Dr. Zorba Pastor is standing by. He'll join us to talk about the latest coronavirus headlines.
And tonight at 5, we'll hear from Democratic Representative Mark Pocan about his thoughts on the death of George Floyd.
This is online learning. Today, it's more relevant than ever. This is you, a person looking for a lasting career. And this is Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, where you can earn a degree in nursing, healthcare, business, and IT, anywhere, anytime. Take an online course free and get comfortable with online learning. That makes a degree from Herzing University more relevant than ever. I'm possible at Herzing. Learn more today.
We are the Thrivers. Women with metastatic breast cancer, standing in the struggle, hustling through the hurt, asking for science, not sorries. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant or a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor. Kisqali is the only treatment in its class with proven overall survival results in 2 clinical trials, helping women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali was also significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious liver problems and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. It's our time to continue to shine because we are the Thrivers. Ask your doctor about Kisqali, the only treatment in its class proven to help women live longer in 2 clinical trials.
Hi, I'm Brian from McGann Furniture in Baraboo. We know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to people my age, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. Shop McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo. You'll be glad you did.
Tonight at 5, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County is hiring peacekeepers, how they will help young people protesting in the community. That's tonight at 5.
Temperatures will be warm, but humidity will generally be lower for the rest of the week and through the weekend. There's a chance of thunderstorms late Thursday night. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, the Monona Police Department is apologizing for handcuffing a man inside his home while they investigated if he was actually a burglar.
Picture from downtown. Beautiful day. Feels like summertime outside.
A little sticky.
Yeah, a little sticky. It is a little humid, but we'll take it. It's a nice stretch.
And the gnats.
Yeah, we just saw one.
What's the deal with the gnats?
We just saw one on the camera. Well, as part of our coronavirus coverage, we're continuing to ask the experts questions about the virus.
It's time for our weekly check-in with Dr. Zorba Pastor. Later on, we'll get to your questions answered. We'll let you know when to call in. Hi, Zorba. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing well. I understand some of your clinics are starting to open up now. That's a good sign.
Yes, very good sign. Very, very good sign.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the pandemic. It sort of dropped out of the headlines with all of the protests going on around Madison. Do you think
You bet. And the pandemic is still going on. Well, there are a couple of things that are of interest. First of all, some research done in Australia seems to go, remember in Australia, the other side of the planet, they're beginning their winter season, that as the humidity goes down and the air becomes drier and the air becomes colder, that it appears that the coronavirus, COVID-19, or COVID-19, which one, might actually get stronger and stronger. In other words, they looked at specifically whether or not the contagion rate, the rate at which you can actually be contagious to other people, seemed to increase with a drop in humidity. And so this really doesn't bode well. It means that during the wintertime, we might see a rise in the coronavirus because, in fact, it might be as the humidity drops, it's easier to actually spread the disease. Now, once again, it's one study. It doesn't prove anything. This is science and evolution, but I think it's something we have to be concerned of. Certainly with the influenza pandemic of 1918, there was the first influenza epidemic, and then there was the second one that was even worse than the first. So remains to be seen what this data shows. So that's the first thing for the follow-up. The next thing is the FDA has now approved a total of 4 different tests that people will be able to do at home with saliva for the coronavirus. Now, the accuracy of the test is kind of a big question. I wrote a good colleague of mine at Johns Hopkins, and I said, Exact Sciences is doing a test on the coronavirus. How accurate is it? And he said the test actually got approved after they set the gold standard. They only did something like 40 tests in order to get approval. So in other words, how accurate these tests are still remains to be seen. But I think once we get more and more testing out there, we're going to get a better idea of what to do and basically how to keep people at home when they're actually sick.
270-9933 is the number to call. We'll get to your questions in just a minute. Are you concerned about all the crowds gathering for the protest? And
Oh, 100%. You know, I mean, social gathering is social gathering, whether it's on a protest, on a beach, whether it's anything else. And we know that when you're closer than 6 feet to somebody else, if they have coronavirus, they can spread it to other people. And I think what we're going to see with all the protests is an increase in the coronavirus. We'll certainly find out. We'll certainly know in somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks because it takes that long for the incubation period to go on. But I want to remind you, in 1918, there weren't protests, but there were gatherings for the sale of Liberty bonds. And in Philadelphia, there was a famous Liberty Bond parade. And following the parade, literally 10 days or 2 weeks later, from the influenza epidemic and pandemic that was coming on, there were a number of people that got sick and died from it. So I'm afraid that all of the protests, because even with masks, you should be 6 feet apart, are really going to make a difference. And we'll know. We'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
Fingers crossed, that's for sure. All right, 270-9933 is the number to call. We'll get to your questions right after this.
With one of our favorite Portage families here at the Portage Furniture Store, the Ayers family, that has grown a little bit since, he says high five. That's right. Since the last time we were here.
We sure have. Austin and I, proud 3rd generation owners, and now we're working on our 4th generation. We've seen generations of customers come through, and I think we take a lot of joy in seeing, hey, my parents bought from your dad, or bought from your uncles, or bought from your grandpa, and now Austin and I get to enjoy that ourselves.
How much fun is it on the days you come back into town and the 3 of you are together?
It's very special. Like I said, the longevity from my dad and uncle started in 1940 to now. Very special.
We're very, very proud to showcase predominantly American-made brands and companies that we've worked with for a very long time. We have a number of great lines, including Serta Mattresses, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, and England.
And not everyone has the Ayers last name, but everybody here, I know you guys consider family.
Yeah, we really have some wonderful people here, including, 2 salespeople, Rosie and Punky, who have been here with us from the very beginning, and we're really thankful for them.
Yeah, they really make you guys, they're the ones who make you all look good.
Yeah, they are.
No doubt.
And we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, well, he said it. What are some of the biggest things that sets you guys apart?
The free delivery. Yeah.
They still got it. I was wondering.
We do.
Glad to hear it.
And on top of a first-class free delivery service, we're very proud of our huge selection of top name brand furniture at guaranteed low prices.
Well, with the free delivery, we've got a lot of stops, but I'm glad you're helping me. From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. He's excited.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection remains open to serve our customers and communities during these times of uncertainty. We've got you covered for all your plumbing service needs. Call us for help. We are here for you.
Savor the simple of Kemp's Simply Crafted ice cream. No artificial flavors, no shortcuts, ever. Just fresh cream from family farms, crafted with loads of goodness. It's simply delicious. Kemp's, good comes around. Bring home more Simply Crafted magic, now in sandwiches and new flavors.
Southern Wisconsin is a vibrant, diverse community with great stories to tell. And I'm excited to be bringing them to you during my favorite time of day, morning.
Join Chris Stanford and the rest of the News 3 Now This Morning team. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Well, you know it's getting warm outside when we get to start to talk about road bucklings. Now, right now, downtown Madison looks smooth, but if we look at Highway 12, close to Deerfield and heading towards Lake Ripley, all lanes, east and westbound, are closed right now due to portions of the highway buckling because of the heat. So if you are trying to head right now east towards Milwaukee, or if you're on the edge of Dane County, know that you cannot hop onto Highway 12 currently. All lanes, east and westbound, are closed. Now, to get from Jaysville to the Beltline, we're at 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown at 9 minutes this evening.
All right, Anna, thank you. Well, if you're a cheese lover, you're going to want to be online tomorrow. The Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin is hosting the world's largest online cheese party, or as they put it, they're asking cheese lovers to take a virtual cheesecation in the Badger State. Tomorrow is also National Cheese Day. You'll be able to meet Wisconsin cheesemakers online. The event will also include cheese tasting, trivia, giveaways, and surprise guests. If you're interested, you have to register for free on Zoom, where the party will be hosted.
How do you do cheese tastings on Zoom?
I don't know. It's time to get your medical questions answered.
Dr. Zorba Pastor is with us this afternoon. The number to call is 270-9933. And let's begin tonight with
Kathy.
Yeah, with Kathy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kathy in Windsor. Hi, Kathy. What's your question? Kathy, are you there? Can Kathy hear us?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Sorry about that. Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, if you're not exhibiting or showing a temperature, does that still say that you're not contagious?
Not at all. It has nothing to do with temperature. You can be contagious the whole time and have no temperature and no symptoms at all. And that's why it is so infectious. You might not have any temperature, any symptoms at all. You've got COVID, you're spreading it around. The virus is king because it doesn't necessarily cause any problems to you. So the answer is yeah.
All right.
You can be contagious without any symptoms.
Let's go to Dane in Fitchburg. Hi, Dane. What's your question?
Yes.
Diane, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How important is it to wash down hard surfaces everywhere, groceries, grocery carts, and at home?
Sure. That's a question that I get quite often. Most of the time, it's spread by being close to somebody who has COVID. They are breathing out the germs, they're breathing out the virus, and you catch it that way. The question is, how much is actually taken care of, because we know the virus can live on surfaces. We know it doesn't live on copper. We know it can live on metal. Apparently, it can live on cardboard for an hour or two. And that question doesn't really have an exact answer. It's important to wash your fruits and vegetables when they come into the house, certainly before you actually eat them, because you want to make sure any virus on there or any bacteria on there, basically, you can get rid of. But how important is it? Some people are much more obsessive than others. I think the jury is out on that. I must tell you, I'm not obsessive. Pretty good. I wash my fruits and vegetables, obviously, before I eat them, but I don't wash everything that comes into the house. Yes, yet I know other people, other physicians, for instance, one who has asthma, and everything that washes in his house, he decontaminates. So if you want to be super safe, you decontaminate everything. If you want to be safe, you make sure you still wash things, wash your hands, and still, once again, hand washing with hand sanitizer and surfaces. The doorknobs you touch, those are really the important things, because person touches the doorknob, they're more likely to have it than a piece of cardboard in a store.
All right, let's go to Sheila in Madison. Hi, Sheila. What's your question?
Hi, my daughter has a new baby, and he's about 3 months old, and he has a rash on his face, and she's nursing, and she supplements with formula, and it's really red, and she has eczema, and I don't know if it's a contact rash, but he doesn't have it anywhere else on his body, but she also has some bumps on her arm where, like, his head rests.
Sure. Call the doctor. That's the answer. The answer is you can't tell a rash over TV. It could be eczema, could be something else. I think if you're concerned, this is a good idea where telemedicine really comes in, where often you can get that iPhone or Android phone up and you might be able to answer the question without actually going in for a visit. And this is where I think video visits are going to become much more common for things like, how do I have to get out of the house, go see the doctor? Can you answer it on the phone? And the answer is yes, you might be able to answer it with the phone.
Well, interesting. All right, let's go to Mary in Sun Prairie. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
What's your question?
I got a question for Dr. Zorba. Can we use the plastic bags that they use in the grocery stores to bag groceries with? Can we reuse them when we get them home?
Well, as you know, grocery stores no longer want reusable bags brought into the store because they're worried about coronavirus. And so your question really is there coronavirus on the bag? And the answer is, I don't know. Might be on the bag, might not be on the bag. Certainly, if you're concerned, you can put it in and wash it, then take the bags out and have the bags dry. But it's a really good question. And once again, this is science and evolution. We don't know how easily it's spread on a plastic bag. We're certainly going to know in 3 to 6 months or a year, but right now, the jury is out on just how infectious those bags are.
All right, let's go to Judy in Fitchburg. Hi, Judy. What's your question? Judy, are you there?
Oh, yes, I am.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering when my husband and I are 80 years old. If we happen upon somebody who has the virus without symptoms, and we would pick up the virus, would we, because of our age, have symptoms sooner than a younger person would?
Maybe, maybe not. I've got a friend of mine who lives out in Sun Valley, Idaho. She's 84 years old. They were doing something called a prevalence study. They just want to see how many people have it randomly. She was chosen, and she was positive for COVID antibodies, and she had no symptoms at all. None at all. 84 years old with some medical problems. So the answer is you might get symptoms, you might not get symptoms. If you're sick, if you have diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, asthma, previous pneumonia, you are much more likely to get symptoms. But some people, even with all those, are symptom-free.
Wow. Yeah, it's a strange virus, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Zorba, thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Okay, roll playback. 3, 2.
With Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields, anywhere, anytime. Take an online course free and get comfortable with online learning. I'm possible at Herzing. Learn more today.
Go ahead, live your best life.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
About $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
To the thousands of Herzing University nursing and healthcare alumni, for your tireless commitment, and to all of your brave colleagues across America, we say thank you.
I'm possible at Herzing.
News 3 Now is partnering with the Madison School District to provide its high school seniors with special commencement ceremonies. Class of 2020, born to make history. June 12th and 13th on News 3 Now and streamed live on Channel 3000.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team, on air, online, and download the Channel 3000 First Warn app. Be the first to know what's headed our way.
Nice nice and sunny outside right now. Here's a live look with our Edgewater sky cam. Temperatures just creeping into the 80s this afternoon. We're at 84 degrees with a bit of a breeze from the west-southwest. It's a little humid outside, but thankfully not too bad. Now, as we look ahead to tomorrow, plan on a very similar story to today, almost a copy and paste forecast. Mid-80s again with a mostly sunny sky. We're going to stay mostly dry, actually, for the next several days, and the weekend looks very pleasant. But Gary will have more on that during the 5.
All right. Thank you, Dana. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll meet a local author who has a unique way of celebrating Pride Month.
And veterinarian Carrie Donahue from Full Circle Holistic Veterinary Care will take your pet medical questions live. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.